It's 500 meters. They have to be fiber.
Well, none of the instruments support fiber.
No, but we convert it back to Ethernet.
Oh, the extension?
In the can.
From the boring? Yeah,
It's got to be fiber.
I would say, yeah.
So that's it. So the yellow cable on the left is fiber optic cable, and then it goes into a switch inside this, and then we use Ethernet, which is only copper on the right side, and that allows us to get 500 meters because you can't run Ethernet over long distances.
Oh, why not? Hey, how come?
Underneath it, degradation in signal quality over copper wires. I guess the resistance on the copper is too high
pitch in a
for
bit, see if it lifts up.
Makes sense. Cool.
I think you're on top of it.
Yeah. Let me jog close.
Looks like you got it.
Think so?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, let's both lift up a bit.
Okay.
See what you get. Do you pitch in?
Pitch in. Elbow up.
Shoulder up.
Shoulder up. Not enough jam.
But you got it. Okay, I'm gonna let go of it. I'm holding it down.
Roger.
I'll come get another bite on it here.
A good look at the pin in your upper cam. It doesn't seem like it has any secondary pin on it.
Just a piece of heat shrink that.
That's right. Yeah.
Challenging.
Just something that takes brute force to overcome.
Yeah. Brute force kind of operation.
That's a good old BFI. Yep.
Can't see.
Brute force. Brute
To the
force.
right of it.
Up to the right of it?
Yeah. See it in stereo?
No, I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Brute force intervention. Yeah.
I think there was like an early Xbox game called Brute Force.
What was it?
It was like
MMA?
a squad of 4.
Now you can elbow up. Caught in the chain there.
It sounds like a tagline under
Yeah,
Tony
like
Hawk.
an
Brute
azimuth left a
force.
little bit,
You
maybe.
can try it.
Yeah. You got to play as like a lizard dude with a Gatling gun.
Oh,
I'm in.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
And it's amazing. I remember the graphics for this game being so good.
And then you Google it and you're like, what was I
Yeah,
looking
I
at?
know.
How are they so square?
Ugh. Now I think it's free.
You fly forward a little bit.
Pan left. Tilt up.
And just a couple of
Fly forward.
good mornings as,
Do a
people,
little hop forward.
as our pilots are doing their amazing work. Good morning to Tufilo Antoni, Brazil.
That's probably about as far as you
Sorry, I
can go.
probably
You're
butchered
Oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
got the mooring in your face now.
Good morning, students in Brazil.
Do we say hola? Is it,
I don't speak Portuguese, unfortunately.
well, I was going to say, yeah, is it the Portuguese or
Okay,
Spanish?
you
you can
ask
say
left,
bon
I'll try
dia.
and walk it
Bon
around.
dia.
Yeah.
Azimuth
Bon
left.
dias. There you go.
To the pain.
I mean,
It's like all
let me let
good.
go of it.
Nice.
Excellent. There you go.
My limited Portuguese.
Are you going to go back for the ODI?
So that
Yeah,
town
as soon
is
as we
in the
get this thing clear.
Portuguese-speaking portion
Sure.
of Brazil?
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
Can you shoulder up maybe, or and azimuth
Elbow
left
up.
a little? There you go. Now you got it. If you look down, I'll grab the
Probably
something
just
down here.
shoulder down.
Look down for a
Oh,
second.
yeah,
I'll
yeah. Okay.
grab the oily and stick it on there too.
Eastern Brazil.
So yes, Portuguese? Ready to go, guys?
Where's Fabio when you need him?
Yeah.
Sleeping. And of course, good morning to everybody else out there in the world of the internet. If you're just joining us, we're moving some cabling around at a mooring that is going to be released. And the reason we're moving around is we don't want to squish it when we come
Get it
back
on
with
the
our new
porch.
mooring.
Can you porch out there?
Porch
Very
now,
nicely
porch
done,
now.
Dan. What is that thing on the porch? That,
Annoying, that's what it is.
What
Probably
is it,
should grab
though?
it and put it in the box.
do you know what it was intended for?
Gas tights.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
This
it's,
thing here.
No, a hockey puck. The idea was to pick it up
Oh,
by the T-handle and hit the gas tights with the hockey puck. But
Oh,
having even
that was
more
the
of a moment
previous
sticking out.
watch. That was
Okay, you want to tilt up?
panning left a bit.
Uh,
I can shoulder down.
this is
I don't
Bring this
know.
thing down.
Give me a plate. I think you want to shoulder up. Get it up out of the... See if you can pick it up.
All right.
Or elbow up. What happened if you rotate left? You got enough of a grab on it? Yeah, now if you drag it back towards you, I'll put the connector in the plate as it goes by. You probably have to pick it up.
we're sure that shoulder isn't causing any havoc on our mooring release, eh?
What's that?
Are we sure we're not up in the mooring release? I just want to make sure we don't accidentally send this thing.
Oh, we're up in it. Just touching our bumper there a little bit.
Just want to be careful.
I don't want to miss my moment.
Well, let shoulder.
That's true.
You got no shoulder up?
I got shoulder up.
Yeah, shoulder up.
what's your moment, Monica?
Well, I was going to say release the mooring, like release the Kraken.
Yeah,
I'll put
Yeah.
down.
Why aren't we doing that at 6:45?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you'll
but-
still be here.
Yeah,
If it's
tell
a controlled
If it-
release.
Yeah.
Panning
If
left.
it's a premature
Panning left.
release, then.
Roger.
Oh, right. Okay, sorry. I misunderstood.
yeah. No, tell your friends.
You got
Tune
shoulder
in.
up.
Tune in.
Elbow down.
I was hoping you could get it close enough to put it in pan, but I don't think so.
Oh, baby.
Oh, lost it. I think it broke off in the jaws.
It's old aluminum. Eh.
Oh, now we could probably reposition on the other side, maybe.
You could, or you could grab it again. I'd grab
Yeah.
it again.
All
It's right there. Get a good full bite on it. Should be able to pick it up, fly with it. Or drag it where we can get 2 minutes on it. But, all right, I'll probably hold it. I don't think it broke, it just slipped off. Elbow in, pitch up. That'll work too. You want a full throat bite, I think, so it gets in the back of the jaws.
So again, we've got some more comments coming in from folks in Brazil, but I'm going to give the pilots a little bit of space to talk about what they're doing, and then I will answer your questions. So stand by. I see them, and I'll answer them.
At the moment, we're brutalizing a Rockles flange in the rocks with several hundred feet of mooring tangled up on the ROV.
You know, Monday.
And just a day at the office. What happens if you shoulder up now? It's caught on the rock on the left, so should just pick it up.
We put the wee in train wheel.
Wee.
Boo.
See where I'm at here.
If you scoot to the left just a hair, I could probably get that connector. You'll have to back up a little bit. Just back up maybe 6 inches, scoot to the left. Clear the mooring now. I can get it there. Maybe.
If you can see it.
You could also, if you're careful, we could just fly away and let it hang.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and drape this under the arm here if I can reach it. I don't think I can reach it. Maybe if you come up to the left, I'll stab it as we come out.
All right. Coming up.
I just didn't want it to get caught while we're coming up and away. You'll have to
Yeah, we're kind of
come back and to the left when you can.
bumping into that release a little bit.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the puck. As long as that orange puck is in there, we're
It's
okay.
got a safety on it.
Oh, the problem is I'm in a crevice.
Yeah, he doesn't got a lot of options there.
I think it's upper back is pretty much all you've got.
Yeah, well, you can see it going back is causing me to blow up a storm there.
All sorts of exciting events.
There we go. Free.
Yeah,
Nice flying, gentlemen.
keep coming up.
Oh, nice.
Coming up.
Yeah, the
Connector's
connector's
out of the
free.
mud now.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
The area we want to set
Want me
it's
to
over
move
here.
your
Stop.
camera?
A little bit of a snag, maybe?
Connector's caught a little.
Yeah.
Oh,
Panning,
you're okay.
panning right.
Wonderful. And good morning to Miss Cassie's class.
Where are we going with this? To the other spot
Yeah,
that we wanted?
follow the yellow
Yeah.
brick cable.
To
Back
the,
to where we had the beacon.
yeah, to the other train wheel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just come up a
Maybe,
bit so I'm not dragging it.
Yeah, get a bit of altitude.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's a question from Miss Cassie's class in Brazil, if we've ever found a frilled shark. I don't believe we've ever seen a frilled shark, certainly not in the Ocean Network's Canada network. Very interesting animal with a very ancient looking creature, but no, we haven't seen one. Maybe someday.
Oh, they look terrifying.
We saw the shark relative earlier, didn't we?
The skate, yeah,
skate.
those are relatives of the shark. And someone has provided us a saying we could use. It says, "Bon dia, senhoras and
I'm gonna move the
senhores,"
Orion while you're doing
which I
that.
believe is
Okay, I'm gonna
Portuguese
start coming
for
down a bit.
good
I think
morning,
it's
ladies and
coming up.
gentlemen.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna
Nice.
snag that
Yeah,
connector.
Thank
maybe.
you.
Yeah.
Or obrigada. That
Say
means obrigada means
Obrigado.
thank you, but you have
Or you
to
could just
gender it.
lay the connector out.
So
It's up to you.
Monica, you and I would say obrigada. Jeb and AJ, for example, would say obrigado.
Obrigado.
I see. Do you want
Jake's got it too.
Do you want to see if you can
Domo.
read this one and
Domo
read it?
obrigado.
Sorry?
Do you want to see if you can read this one and say it? Because I think I probably...
Oh, I think you did a great job pronouncing it. Also, I should specify, I don't speak Portuguese.
Sounds like you do.
I studied with quite a few Portuguese
There, you
people.
guys are right over the beacon now.
And I learned a few words.
Great.
Oh.
Ooh.
And some folks are asking if we saw a gulper eel or a
Might be.
pelican eel. And
I don't know, in the rocks or the mud, either way.
It doesn't matter. We're happy as long as it's clear.
Whoa, pelican eels are freaky.
yeah, Dirk was sharing with us last night that
More
they saw one
monsters.
Oh, you're going to have
last
to come
night.
down a bit. I think
Really?
Once the
Wow, that would be a
connector,
cool sighting.
once the connector touches, if you back away a little so it's out in front.
yeah, right.
Although they're creepy looking, they're actually quite
Or
small.
from the left, either way.
Yeah, you can see one in someone. It's like the size of not a lot bigger than your hand.
Nope.
Which kind of makes it freakier. I don't know.
Mhm.
Happy?
Yeah, beautiful work, guys.
Happy.
I didn't go.
On time. Oh, ahead of time. And under budget.
Whoa, well, let's not set a standard here.
You'll have to let go. You're pinned over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
What was our budget?
I guess the money's already been spent.
Very nice. So, of course, for those who are tuning in and wondering why we're so excited about being ahead of schedule, we are scheduled to release the mooring so that it'll come to the surface in daylight, so that our ship crew
I had stop on. That's why I couldn't do it.
can work on it as safely as possible. So we don't
Okay.
want to bring it up in the dark.
I can go back over, get set up in position there.
Roger.
And of course, we are enjoying some absolutely expert flying from pilot Dan and Jake, which of course is complemented by excellent navigation from Lynette. Wonderful video from our video engineer, Ashley. And of course, we've got the back row. Lovely Steph, AJ, Jeb, Monica, and Danny.
Not to mention our lovely communicator, educator, Monica.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Yeah. I always forget, you know when people are like, what's the head count? And you're like,
Back up
5,
a
and they
bit.
look at you and they go 6,
Better.
and you're like, yep. Neat little tower of biology there.
So, Lynette, we are 13 minutes from release. I don't know if you want to walk through the plan with the bridge.
Sure, yeah.
We're going to need their permission to fire this thing, so maybe we want to give them a heads up.
Yeah. Okay. So when we do release it, pretty much as soon as we release
Sweet.
it, we want to boogie out of there, right?
Yeah,
so
we can recover. That's it. We're done. We got nothing more to do, so we can recover the sub immediately.
Yeah, so, but I think we want to start tracking the ship forward, essentially, right?
Yep. Yeah, whatever
Pulling us out of
whatever front row needs to do to feel safe. Like, our dive objectives are complete.
I'll have to get real close to it again. So we're going to have to probably grab with the Orion.
Of course.
Hey, it wouldn't be
Let's
deep
see.
sea if we
That's
didn't have a
probably good,
dust
Jake.
cloud, right?
Roger.
You don't want our brow touching it when it rockets away.
Yeah.
Luckily, that puck is orange.
Are you all happy with the position of Atalanta relative to Herc?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so just to have the plan clear, when we release it, we're going to want to start tracking the ship forward on its current heading. Is that right?
Yeah.
Are we thinking 0.3 knots for that?
What?
0.3 knots, the usual,
yeah.
or?
You can go faster if you want. You can do half a knot.
Half knot, okay.
We can go tail to tail and drag it and set up for recovery. Keep going half a knot for 2,600 meters.
We do have a beacon on the mooring, so we can watch it as it comes up to make sure that we're a safe distance from it. We don't have to go forever.
Roger.
Yeah, let's find a hole there.
Bridge nav.
Let the dust clear.
Hey, so we are currently set up looking at a mooring right now.
Sorry, I'll come down a bit.
Subsea. In about 10 minutes, we'd like to release that mooring and allow it to come up to the surface. When we do that, once we release it, we'd like to start tracking a line forward about 0.5 knots just to help pull the ROVs clear of it. Does that sound like a good plan to you? Okay, excellent. In about 10 minutes then we'll be calling and asking for permission to release that. Okay, thank you.
Where are we going to grab?
I'll grab that chain right below it.
Okay.
Get it out there now.
It's going to be like letting go of a balloon. It's just going to go right into the sky. Whoosh. If there's any little critters on there, now's your time to jump off. Maybe now that we've got a moment of clarity, or once you've grabbed the line there, Dan or Jacob, have you ever seen a gulper eel or a frilled shark?
They're going to have to get a little... Well, maybe I can reach it. Let me see if I can get it. I think I can get it. I don't know what you're talking about, sorry.
Downlight on.
A what eel?
A gulper eel or a pelican eel.
Do not know.
Nope, I'm not familiar. Fair enough. There's lots of stuff down here.
Making me work for it, Vic.
So, AJ, if you're able, we've got some folks who would like to plan the rest of their day, and they want to know what happens once the mooring comes to surface, and then what? And then what happens?
Yeah, so the mooring's going to come to surface, and we're going to spend the morning recovering it on deck. So by the time the subs are on board, and then we go and back down on the mooring and get it on deck, it'll probably be around lunchtime. Hand over to the other crew, and it'll be their job to put a new mooring in the ocean and lower it down to the seabed, and that's a pretty lengthy process that requires good weather and a lot of coordination.
Zoom in there real quick.
Once it's on the seabed, we're going to dive Hercules and come and plug it in.
I think I got, yeah, there you go, sorry.
So we're going to be here for a while yet.
The ship will be on station, but yeah, the subs will likely be out of the water for most of the day. And then, yeah, this evening we'll be back here doing a reverse operation to this one. And then it sounded like there may be some opportunity to go do some more photogrammetry and gas tights at high rise, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, so that's our intended plan, but as we know, plans are what we do? Life's what happens while you're busy making plans.
It's great to hear folks so excited about watching deck video. That's great. They want to plan their day around it.
Well, I think the deck video is fantastic. It is neat to see you guys moving around there like little ants and seeing all that work get done and be deployed over the side. And video, of course, has so many fantastic shots of the deck. It's quite the collage.
So how do we actually release this thing? Are we pulling the orange thing, or how
This
does...
this is like a double two operation release. So the orange pin there is a safety, so it's got to be pulled out first.
Okay.
And then that puck will be stowed. And then that white Delrin kind of cam. Yeah, I call it a puck, but it looks more like
That's better.
like a Russian nesting doll. It gets pulled downwards to release the mooring.
Got it. Okay.
Well, we're not going anywhere because we're holding on to it.
And you're holding onto the right side, too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to pull this red thing out of here if you're happy with that.
Yep. You're going to try to pull the red thing out. That heat shrink will have a thing or two to say about it.
We didn't have an Orion on it before, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
What's my cue? What's my cue?
Not yet.
Oh no, we gotta talk to the bridge.
Yeah, we'll tell you, Monica. We haven't forgotten.
How could you possibly? The word used to describe me is relentless.
There is a...
in all endeavors.
Yeah, relentless. That is my...
Including this endeavor.
Adjective.
Good one, Jeb.
Can you go ahead and full zoom in there just for a second? I just want to make sure I got enough room for that thing to come by without catching me. I think I do. It's got to come through the top loop, right? Okay.
Now, got some good news
That's
for you,
good
Dan.
there, right there.
Yep. Ooh. Squishier than I imagined.
Oh, a heat shrink eject.
Well, we had it. We're holding it in the Orion, so.
I don't even think the heat shrink made it to the pin though.
It just jumped for
It just jumped ship.
safety.
I don't know if we got enough room to do the starboard box there with the rocks.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Now that white latch is what would be pressed like a trigger, is that right?
It gets pulled down, yeah.
Pulled down like a big switch.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right. And then this is actually going to be a really good view because this jaw will fall down, releasing...
Sorry.
Oh, no, never mind. It's on the other side that the jaw opens. And this chain will come free.
On it.
Very cool. And Jeb, you got some fans out there. Please remember to wear life jackets while on deck.
Always good advice if we're working towards the back of the deck, if the line,
or if the gate's
safety
open.
line is down,
I've yet to see anybody
Close
not.
the box and get your rail cam back because you might need it. Hopefully you won't.
And Dan, there's some great news here in the chat for you. Apparently, there was a dive in the Hawaiian Marine Park Reserve, which I'm sorry, I'm not going to attempt to say because I haven't had any practice at it. There is a video of a gulper eel. Actually, Danny, you're here. What is the name of the park? Do you remember? One more time. Papahanao Manua Keva National Monument. Thank you. There is a video of a gulper eel, and that can be found on nautiluslive.org.
So let's make sure we give the bridge notice before triggering this.
Okay, are we clear to release?
From my end, you are good to go, but of course we have to let Monica say her line.
Oh, right now?
Oh,
well,
we need
first
clearance from the bridge first.
Okay.
We're not worried about this connector in our brow or anything, right?
Nope.
Okay.
It's going to take what it takes.
Are we ready?
You can look up if it makes you
call the
happy.
bridge?
I can see on the... We're
Back
ready.
row's ready. Pilots, are you ready?
Oh, we're good, Jake.
We're good.
Yeah, we're ready. We're waiting
All right,
for you.
Monica.
Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
I thought you checked.
You can see it's out
Bridge
in front
now.
of the bumper.
Okay, we are ready to release the mooring. Do we have permission to do that? Okay, thank you. Okay, I think this is your time to shine, Monica.
So if I remember right, I just push the weight thing down, right?
Weight thing comes down, yeah.
Right.
Alrighty. Dan, Jake, release the mooring.
Roger, releasing the mooring. Maybe.
Touching the mooring.
Are you ready? Now you can say.
Alrighty. Dan,
You gotta
Jake,
have 3, 2, 1.
Release the mooring. Woo!
And away she goes.
Nicely done.
Great.
Up and
everyone.
away, very nice.
Can we start tracking a line forward,
Oh, 15
please?
seconds early. I'm going to get in trouble for that.
Ahead of schedule.
Now we can go explore it.
Drop this chain.
Oh, you want to drop the chain? I was going to stretch out and let out and see how long we can hold on to it.
Test our new
Okay,
arm.
ship move is in. We
Roger.
are
Half an hour later, Atalanta will start moving.
Yep.
It peaked.
Not a half an hour.
Hopefully not.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Opening.
Come wide on the HD cam, please, Ashley. Thank you.
I told them I would get in trouble. 644.45. You didn't specify where the 45 had to be. I'm sorry for your 15 seconds of sleep that I stole. Yeah, that's right. That's
There you go. Yeah, you can give him a shout out. If you're okay with it. So, Jeb, you've got a shout out this morning. Good morning from home. Kegs, Luke, Antipasta, and Ma and Pa.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We're
Might
just
as well
just
go
released our
northwest of
mooring
Atalanta there
and
because it's
thinking
gonna,
about breakfast. And you.
we're going to be moving half a
you all.
knot here pretty soon.
Yep, that's where I'm at.
Such a sweet fella.
Yeah. They watch quite a bit. It's really nice to hear from them.
There's a great question here actually about the impact to the natural environment about this type of work. And it's impossible for us to have no impact, but we work really hard to have a minimal impact. And so what some of the things that we do to create a minimal impact is, again, using those train wheels that will rust away, so have minimal impact. We don't collect any species or samples without...
Hey, Jay, can you look to the left here? We can pick a target for our landing.
extensive permitting and forethought into what we're going to do.
So this is southwest. Yeah, this would work, southwest or south of the beacon location as well, if you keep turning to the left. Yeah, it gets a little rougher. How far, Lynette, how far are we from the beacon right now?
About 10 meters.
So 10 meters southwest?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a nice landing zone. All right, thanks, guys.
Some of the other things we do to make sure that we have minimal impact on the environment is the materials we use. So for example, our oily cables are filled with mineral oil, so minimal interruptions and that kind of stuff. And AJ, how long will it take to reach the surface again in the morning?
Meter a second, or is it faster?
Oh, sorry.
I think it's faster than a meter. So I think it takes only 40 minutes to reach the surface.
40 minutes? A prize for the first person to spot it off the bow? Or
Yeah,
whatever deck it's off of?
If you spot it off the bow, that would be pretty clever, because I think it's going to come off the stern.
The stern, all right, well, okay. First person to...
If you listen for a really loud noise when it hits the ship, then you'll know where it is.
Boing. There it is.
What is that? Straight ahead.
Yeah, what is
Is
that?
that biology?
Floating in the water cup or the big white thing?
The white thing.
That is
I don't
very
know.
strange.
Is it an old train wheel? Or a brake drum? Yeah.
What do we think that is?
Oh, it's concrete, yeah. It's a
Oh, is
mooring
that...
weight.
it's not the bathtub plug. If we pull that out, the whole ocean will drain.
Could be. We can try.
Ooh.
Sure what it looks like.
No, that's too dangerous. I like the ocean too much. Let's leave it in.
Previous mooring.
Yeah, that mooring's already come up 500 meters, so.
It's rocketing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Atalanta looking northwest.
Northwest.
And in theory, I've been playing around with the microstrain. Every time I reboot it, it comes up with a new heading. When you rossify those things, you're saying you just get acceleration out of them? That's all you use them for?
Yeah, we don't use the heading for our, we use, well, I'm using it on an ASV, so we use 2 GPSs and use the offset to compute heading.
Oh, yeah.
And then just use the IME for accelerations.
Yeah, I have it measuring the zero gravity in my room.
Lynette, what's the wind doing?
Sorry, say again?
The wind?
The wind is pretty much coming at our nose, coming from 290.
Is it, what, 10 knots?
Oh, 20 knots.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah. It's been up to 25.
All right.
Yeah, that's why we were moving so slow coming up here, because he was moving sideways in the wind.
That's right.
Hey, what's in the cave?
Hobbit hole.
I've looked in the Hobbit hole before. I remember this Hobbit hole. I really wanted to grab a piece of that volcanic rock, but I've already got one. A picture on the website to prove it.
Well, I call dibs at anything stuck on the front porch. What did you see last time you were looking in that Hobbit hole, Dan?
Same thing as this time, nothing.
Nothing.
There was an octopus that was hanging around here.
So some folks are asking about...
Is it skate?
Oh, is that a skate?
Yeah.
Cool.
Skate herding, that's a great pastime.
Hey, take that, first watch. This one has spots.
If you're gentle, you might be able to get a good zoom on them.
Hold the zoom for a sec.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you want to wait till he lands the vehicle or touches a toe somewhere. He's 2 meters away right now.
I wonder if it's sleeping. So cool.
Go for a zoom?
Turn on the downlights.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
I wonder if it's the same skate we saw on the last watch.
AJ, we got a question from shore.
Interesting thing to do is count their
Ed's asking if the
respirations.
ascent rate of the mooring will change throughout the water column. It'll slow down towards the surface. That's what they suspect.
Oh, interesting. Why would it slow down but near the surface?
It's shy.
It hits the thermal incline and it's like hitting a glass ceiling. Good shot in the cinema cam too, if you want to take a still pic.
The volume
I would
of the
expect
buoy
it to
increases.
increase in speed because the small amount of expansion that the buoy undergoes will increase its buoyancy.
Seen him breathe yet?
But the syntactic foam intentionally, well, by design does not compress much at depth.
There was one.
So I wouldn't expect it to
Now they're
expand
closed.
much. But I don't know how that compares to thermal properties of water. I also don't know why the thermal properties would affect the float speed. The density, I guess density is a term in the drag equation. Density gets less, then drag gets less. It should speed up as well.
Zoom right in on his, oops, sorry, whatever you call that.
For two reasons.
Thing that's opening and closing.
You think it would speed up at the surface?
Towards the surface.
No, skates have gills.
Okay.
Oh, lift off.
I didn't catch the full answer.
Go wide, or zoom out a little.
Why am I even bothering?
I thought they would hear you.
Atlantis.
I'm focusing on the skate.
Running out
Sorry.
of time.
Yeah, Atalanta's catching ya.
That was a nice pause.
Goodbye, skates.
It's kind of neat how it used its little fins there to reposition itself. Very cool.
Do you know how much you want to stand off from this mooring?
Might as well just keep going.
Is that a question for me?
Pilots.
It's a question for the bridge, I think. I don't know.
At least 10% of water depth.
Yeah, we're getting close to that. So we're just moving away so we can recover safely. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So a viewer thinks that that skate was an Arctic skate, which apparently Arctic skates don't have to be in the Arctic Ocean, but are around Canada and are normally found right about this depth. So there you go.
Hey, my abstract's been accepted for oceans.
Are we done, AJ?
Yeah, we're done.
We could start coming up.
Yep, whenever
Are we
you
good on
guys are
ramps?
happy.
I don't know.
AJ, do you know if we've seen any...
We could go tail to tail and come up if you want, or we could sit down here and explore.
Pardon me.
I don't know.
Above my pay grade.
I don't know.
Do you know
I'm
if
just
we've
driving
seen
the
any...
bus.
I think we want to recover the vehicles as soon as possible so we can get this
Chase
mooring.
the mooring.
Roger, coming up.
Coming up.
The question if we've seen any disturbances related to the earthquakes.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's hard
Dive
to know
salvo.
if the changes that we see when we come down here.
Right.
I mean, in general, there's always changes, and the changes are due to the sort of tectonic plate action that is associated with the earthquakes. So the
If I
answer
could
is yes,
come around one way, I
because
guess
there's
it'd be
always
clockwise.
change, and there has been change that we've seen in the sense
no
that the
tether ups,
hydrothermal vents are expanding. We haven't seen any sort of destruction that we might see due to
We're
like a
tail to
large
tail
scale
now,
earthquake.
so I'm going to turn Atlantis
But
auto
as we
heading off.
improve
If you're
our
flying
ability
away,
to
are you?
do multi-beam mapping
Flying
like we
away.
have this cruise within orbit,
You've already
we
got
would be
auto
able
heading off.
to
Okay, I'm going to switch you
compare
to
future
USBL.
surveys with ones we've done this year, and that would give us a better understanding of how the landscape is changing. Now we kind of just have to go off of memory or some photogrammetry that we've done in the past, but we haven't redone any of that photogrammetry at this cruise, so we don't have any comparisons made so far.
Right. That was a question out of the lovely Nova Scotia.
Oh,
New Scotland.
Good morning to, well, actually, no, I guess it'd be mid-afternoon.
Places.
Mid-afternoon to Nova Scotia?
4 hours.
Plus 5? Oh.
So no, still 11.
Still 11? Late morning.
Yeah.
Late morning. Alrighty. And for anybody who is just joining us as well, good morning, or wherever you happen to be, good time of day. And we are just recovering the ROV. We're heading back to the surface. We've released a mooring. It's rocketing up to the surface. We will look for it and recover it, and then we will deploy a new one. And these moorings help us study the water around the hydrothermal vent, see what influxes we have from the heat and the water and all that good stuff. So we want to have as minimal interruption to that data as possible. And of course, later this afternoon, evening, Herc will be back down there plugging it in so that it is continuously monitoring. But as discussed previously, we should have our back deck cam up so you can see all our engineers working hard, scurrying around.
Okay, I have us about 200 meters away from the position of that mooring. I think we can hold position with the vessel.
Roger.
And
if you keep
nav.
streaming, we'll come up faster.
We can start to slow down and hold position. We don't need to keep tracking. Thank you.
There's a couple of notes in here about folks wondering about certain creatures or how do we get better looks at other animals. And I will politely refer you to a couple of resources, one being the nautiluslive.org webpage, where they have a number of beautiful clips of creatures and different species. I would also refer you to the Ocean Networks Canada C2 page, where again we have many annotations and video of creatures, especially from these areas we've visited more than once. We also have social media. Feel free to check out both organizations, oceannetworks.ca and Nautilus Live. Those are both great places to see some of your favorite species that we perhaps don't have time to zoom in on or perhaps only see fleetingly. Those are great resources to check out different things. And of course, we love hearing your feedback on those videos. If you find something you like, leave us a comment or a note and tell us what you like about it. Everything we've seen so far will end up on the C2, which is Ocean Networks Canada's video platform. And much of this will also end up as highlights on web pages for both organizations.
Back row, do we have spotters out on deck that are going to be looking for this mooring coming up?
I imagine so.
Jeb?
I can step out whenever you think is a good time to start looking, Lynette.
Okay, yeah, we're still at about 400 meters depth right now, but it's coming up pretty quick.
400, yeah.
I'll give you a heads up when it's closer to the surface.
Perfect. A few minutes would be great.
Which way did it go, Lynette?
Up. It went up.
I mean, near where it was released, a little bit south.
Did a little zigzag.
Yeah.
You usually either go north or south with the currents around here, I guess. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it went a little east, went a little west, went a little south.
Oh, you're tracking it on our screen too.
Yeah.
Lynette, how are you tracking it?
So that USBL beacon that we clipped to it before we released, that's how we're tracking it. So.
And you can see from the floor to the surface, is that?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start losing a position for it once it gets about, I don't know, 10, 20 meters, maybe 50 meters from the surface, but for the most part, we'll be tracking it to the top.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine we'll have a shortage of volunteers after breakfast to watch for it.
Does Mike know it's...
That's a very good question, Dan. I'm going to go down and find out.
Will I get more jam if you kill
Thanks,
the
Jeb.
crab hydraulics?
Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, Jake, what did you say? You're very faint.
What's the depth of it now, Lynette?
About 300 meters.
Oh, wow.
All right, I'll text him.
Thanks, Dan.
Really coming up quick.
Yeah, real quick.
ROVs will be at the surface in about an hour.
Again, I'm having flashbacks to that hiking trip I took. One group way in the front, me in the middle, one group in the back.
Everybody at their own pace.
Right?
Sounds nice.
Yeah, I still got to see all the nature, you know?
Yeah.
1 hour you got?
65 minutes.
Yeah.
65 minutes. That's about the same distance between me and breakfast.
Oh, great. Best time of the day.
Also a huge fan of bedtime.
Yeah.
Like, I really like my
That's true.
bookends. Yeah. Take or leave lunch, personally. Like, and that's not a comment about the cooking or anything. I just, like, as a human being, I can take or leave lunch. I got things to do. Jake, I can see you scrolling through all the cameras. Do you ever play Space Invaders?
I have played Space Invaders, yes.
But not while you're driving the ROV?
Did you get a hold of Mike, Dan?
I just texted him. He said, okay.
All right, cool.
He's usually up for brekkie anyway, so.
Now, what speed are we ascending with the ROV? Meters per minute?
25 meters a minute.
55 meters a minute.
Hey, I got a random question.
Mm.
How far are we from shore right now? Like from Vancouver Island?
100 miles. 100 nautical miles.
Yeah, it's about,
Yeah?
about 300 kilometers?
Okay.
You know, give or take, depending on how pointy-outy the part of Vancouver is and how floaty-woaty we are.
Right. Just a rough estimate.
Yeah.
Someone was asking me and I don't know.
Pointy-outy and floaty-woaty.
Yeah, pointy-outy, floaty-woaty, those are very important.
I'm not seeing much of a change in depth on this beacon.
It's probably too far away.
Stuck at the thermocline.
Strange.
Ooh, we've got another lovely resource put in here, and that is the iNaturalist account run by DFO, Department of Fisheries and Ocean Deep Sea Ecology Program. So that is a great resource as well for people who want to see the different creatures. And special thanks to Merlin. When is the next dive? So again, just to give the general recap of the day, what we're going to do is recover the ROV. We are going to recover the mooring. We are going to then deploy the new mooring, and that new mooring will need to be plugged in, but again, that's going to take us a few hours. So we expect to be diving in the late afternoon, evening. And our socials are a great place to grab a dive alert. So that's a great spot just to kind of keep an eye on, and you'll see it on X and Instagram and a few other places as well, I believe. But that's a great spot to see kind of a heads up, usually kind of 30 minutes to an hour. But evening is the general time. Got a great question here while we look at this lovely blue water. One of our viewers is telling us that they have found a new favorite creature, or a new favorite Latin name, pardon me, Pantopodia, meaning all feet. And they're wondering, have you been rabbit-holed on any creatures, or is there anything that you've seen where you're like, whoa, I gotta know more about this, and you end up going down a bit of a rabbit hole?
Yeah, we got many rabbit holes.
Gone down many rabbit holes? What's the last one that comes to mind?
That's one that comes to mind. I don't know, my mind's drawn a blank. So many rabbit holes.
I do ask these tough questions at 7:07 in the morning. It is quite reasonable.
What was the question?
What's the last rabbit hole we went down?
Yeah.
For, like, ROV work?
You know what, I'll take anything as long as it's, you know, SPL approved. What was the last thing that really grabbed your attention?
Rabbit holes.
Last night I went down the rabbit hole with a Lord microstrain and a WaveShare serial server.
Ooh.
So it's a RS-232 device that plugs in. It's what we use for heading on Atlanta. And we have one that we remove from Argus, our other sled. And So I was kind of trying to do two things. We have an issue with heading offset on Atlanta. Sometimes it's bang on, sometimes it's like, 20 degrees, 30 degrees off.
That's fairly significant.
Yeah, and if you've ever operated a drone or any other kind of thing where you have to do a calibration for the compass or for the heading, you got to kind of
interrupt for a second. Hey, back row, do you want to try to see if you can see that coming up?
Yeah.
I haven't seen much of a change in depth, I think just because it's so far away.
Okay.
But I would imagine it's at the surface now or very soon.
Looking aft?
About 300 meters off the stern. Yeah, okay. So it might be tough to spot. It's
we'll take a look.
Kind of far away.
Yeah, I'll get up high and see if we can spot it.
Okay.
Yep.
I could see it from here.
Thank you, Lennon.
I got cam 180 on the job.
Video, do we have any aft cams we can share?
You don't like the big one up there?
But I meant for our web viewers.
Oh.
Yeah, it's, I'm good, but I'm thinking of the others.
Yeah.
A great question here as well, actually. When we're this far offshore, are we considered on the continental shelf? And actually, we're not on the continental shelf. We left the continental shelf about Barkley, and we are now in an area that's considered abyssal plain.
Spotted.
And apparently Jeb has spotted the float already.
Amazing.
Quick.
Where is it, Jeb? I don't see it.
I don't see it either.
I do trust Jeb, though.
I do not.
Ooh. Gotta have opposing forces in the universe, right?
Totally.
And any birthday cake scheduled for today? Not as far as we know. Here, there's a few more on the cruise, but I'm not sure exactly when they are.
Go ahead, Bridge. Roger, thank you.
I wonder actually if that float will bring in any seabirds. They tend to have a real interest in anything that kind of bobs on the surface.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Actually, we had a seal last night.
Oh, we did?
We did, yeah. It was just a little guy.
Huh.
And the wire, what were we doing? We were doing
a
CT
right,
cast.
sorry.
I miss so much while I'm sleeping.
Well.
Just looking for a float.
Yeah, it was just one seal.
Hamburgers, cinnamon buns, seals.
Wow, you're cooking. Oh, that's
well,
really
some
fast.
of those things I'll put in the fridge for you. You guess which ones.
Not the seal.
No.
I like it when I'm dragging you up a little bit.
I'm not a fan of a cold hamburger.
No, that's definitely food you have to have warm. There are some foods that are totally acceptable at all temperatures. That's not one of them. Pizza, any temperature, fine.
Agreed.
Well, except maybe frozen.
Cheese pizza out of the fridge the next day.
Oh,
yeah, pizza out of the fridge next day, that's pretty good.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. Is that what
Straight to Costco for pizza.
Is that what you're finding for? You're a pizza guy?
Oh, I love pizza.
Yeah.
I'm excited for some pizza on shore,
I could eat
too.
pizza every night.
Yeah, I could do pizza every day, I think.
So my first food off the boat is a good cheeseburger, tacos, and pizza.
Ooh.
Probably the top three.
Wow, those all sound so good right now. Especially since breakfast is coming up.
Totally.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one, Dan. A good cheeseburger.
Yeah.
I'd love some sushi.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little iffy on the sushi myself, but that's okay.
I had
A good curry?
I had sushi the night before I flew out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I went to a good sushi place. It's kind of like the last stop. It's kind of a tradition before I sail.
Very cool.
But you live in Honolulu, you can get good sushi at 7-Eleven.
I did not go to 7-Eleven.
Don't do that here.
Can you confirm that, Danny? Is there good sushi at 7-Eleven?
7-Eleven has amazing food.
Wow.
I eat sushi roll from 7-Eleven probably 3 times a week.
Wow.
Whoa.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, that sounds
Like,
pretty
I
good.
never thought I'd be like, oh yeah, I eat sushi from 7-Eleven. But
That's very different to my 7-Eleven experiences.
In Hawaii, they have an amazing food selection.
Great.
Spam masubi.
Spam musubis, you get, what else? They got really good sandwiches, you get sushi rolls, like 6 or 7 different kinds of sushi rolls.
I'm so hungry. That sounds so good.
I don't know what I'd
Manapua.
request. Say, what's that?
Manapua.
What's that?
It's a steamed bun with like a char siu pork inside.
Ooh.
Right. I would have called that a
Bao?
a bao, char siu bao.
Char siu bao is smaller.
Okay.
Manapuas are about this big.
Cool. Ooh. Hey, I'm into that.
Guys, this is too much right now.
But when I was just thinking about, when Dan said cheeseburger, I was thinking about Five Guys.
Oh yeah, I got Five Guys in Oregon too.
We don't have that in Canada.
In-N-Out Burger will do.
In-N-Out Burger would be amazing. I haven't had that in years.
No, don't have that either.
Oh my god.
I'm also...
You guys have Red Robin?
Yeah, Red Robin's
Red
pretty
Robin.
good.
We have that?
Yeah, Red Robin.
What is that?
It is a burger franchise. It is on the corner of
One
where the
right
mall
there
is.
in Sydney, isn't there?
Mayfair?
Yeah, Mayfair Mall, but not in Sydney. Sydney does have fabulous restaurants, though.
Oh god, the best,
I never go to Sydney.
best clam chowder I've ever had, I had in Sydney last year.
Do you remember where?
The place right at the end of the pier?
Oh, that would probably be Harrow's, or at the very, very end of the little blue house.
That's what it was.
Oh, that is the bistro on the pier, oddly enough.
Oh yeah, that place was really good.
Yeah, bistro on the pier. Yeah.
Yeah, Megan, Jake and I, we basically got there after we got off the ship, and we ordered like one of everything.
We had so much food. Oh my god.
You know what? That's
It
the
was
place to do
amazing.
it. That's the place to do it for sure.
We just walked all the way through downtown Sydney, and we were starving.
All 6 minutes of it. Yeah. Very good, very good. Yeah, I'd have to say I don't necessarily have like a favorite thing. I'm looking forward to cooking with my family and my sister.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Now, the important thing of that is I say when cooking with them, they do the cooking and I do the viewing. Very important.
Sous chef.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping I'd be able to go to Bard and Banker this time around, but...
Oh yeah, they're good too.
What's your favorite dish to view?
Such a tough question.
I had a whole bunch of oysters.
Ooh, there is an oyster bar in Victoria. It's quite good as well.
I would
I'm not a
love
fan of
to have
oysters.
some good fresh oysters.
Yeah. Tastes kind of like sea boogers. That's how I describe it. I'm sorry for that.
Living in Hawaii, you don't get oysters. That's something I ate a lot of in Oregon.
If you get the opportunity, there's Ferris's Oyster Bar in Victoria. Many oysters available.
I'm not actually sticking around after this cruise.
One of our team members, Chantel's fiance, works there. It's one of the chefs at Ferris's.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, Danny, just next time you'll have to do that.
Hopefully we'll do this
front
again.
Row. Is it like a feasibility for the ship to back down while recovering, or it's no good because you don't want the wire to hit the ship?
Feasibility.
I just worry that float's going to get pretty far, I think, if we leave it.
Yeah, I can.
Sorry, say again. You're worrying about what?
Oh, the float's just drifting away, so I was wondering if it's even possible for us to back down. I mean, I'm not saying we have to, I'm just wondering.
The issue with that, AJ, is it'll spin Herc around. So we can't really do anything with Hercules on the way up because we're using all of our jam to come up.
Yeah.
So it would
pause
probably,
and then bring it around. So
it would delay our recovery. Right now we're all lined out pretty good.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I think we're pretty good. I was just wondering, like, what happens if it starts to really wander down the horizon? I guess we go chase it.
Is it off to the south right now?
It's south of us, yeah.
South.
Do you have an RDF or anything on that peak on that?
It's got, maybe. Not sure. If we probably have a Zeos beacon on it.
But it's to the south of us, right? So she would have to
It's
crab sideways.
right behind us, really.
I have been corrected that apparently there is 5 guys in Canada, Vancouver and Calgary. I will have to keep an eye out for that because I have not experienced it myself.
There was a Five Guys in Kingston. I don't know if it's still open, but I've been to one in Vancouver. There's one in Richmond.
Cool. Well, that is reasonable for me to get to for a burger.
They're not amazing, but it's just a really good, like, they cut and make their french fries in store.
Ooh.
Like, you walk in there and they have bags of potatoes. And the hamburgers are just a good old-fashioned hamburger.
Free peanuts?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. Hey,
I don't know if
The
they do. I
milkshakes
don't know
are
if
really
they do
good.
free peanuts in Canada. Actually, I'm not sure they're allowed to anymore.
Where's that?
I think I saw that in Hawaii either.
They just have like boxes of peanuts out.
Five Guys.
Oh.
There used to be a bar in Victoria called...
I went to one in Vancouver and they had the peanuts.
Oh, they did.
This was last year, so I don't know.
Maybe I'm just not remembering right.
There used to be a bar called Big Bad John's in Victoria, and they wanted to be a dive bar, and so they would serve peanuts in the shell.
Is that the...
There were signs that said, please put the peanut shells on the floor.
Is that the place that's in the Sticky Wicket?
Yep.
Isn't it still there?
I don't know if it's still Big Bad John's, though.
I think it is.
It may come as a shock, but my clubbing and partying days are rapidly diminishing. I think I get like 2 a year now.
I mean, I wasn't there partying. I was there playing trivia.
I need a week to recover.
And I walked past it and I was like, what is this place?
Yeah, and you were drawn in?
No. I walked past it.
Fair. I do love a good, like, random trivia. I wandered into one in Regina, actually. I was visiting the lovely province of Saskatchewan. Easy to draw, but hard to spell. And found a trivia night.
Sorry, where was that?
Regina, Saskatchewan. Got a lovely view of the gasket tight on the porch.
Poor lonely gas tank. How many of these we've packed up and down for?
Oh,
how many trips they've done?
A little seal outside. Someone spotted that video. I think you said that a few moments ago, didn't you? That there's a seal outside.
Is it still there?
Yeah, I think they went toward the bow. They were playing back behind the boat.
I wonder if it was the one that was visiting us yesterday.
They do tend to hang around.
Well, we are very cool.
And we have food.
True. Yeah. Maybe he'll come give Herc a sniff.
You went out of there, Jake?
Sure.
I'll switch out with you.
Deck dude again?
Yeah.
Good if I switch in, Dan?
Yeah. I don't want to sit in there. Happy playing with my gear fidget spinner over here. Oh, missing the other one. To print some more. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, the part of that fidget spinner exploded in my hand, shot somewhere under the bench.
Yeah, it has a few times. I thought we fixed it. I don't know what happened to the other one. The 3D printed one with the ball bearings in it.
I don't know. I was playing with that one yesterday. I liked it.
I did too.
I'll have to find the other piece of it. It fell through here.
Oh, nice. Probably shorting out the UPS. I think Rennie steals my fidget spinners. Need to have like a bowl of them.
That's one thing I haven't made with my 3D printer yet, is any fidget spinners, which is surprising because I've got a whole bunch of bearings.
It is surprising.
I'm probably going to print a really cool one when I get home.
Why wait? I have bearings.
Well, I had to design something.
Need some ROV Nautilus themed ones.
I could make a nautical star.
Yeah. Compass one would be cool.
Yeah, we do a compass.
I don't know how the pointy thing would work out though.
What would be the purpose of the tools, sorry?
I don't know about Lynette, but most of us up here are somewhere on the spectrum. I think Jake's the only normal one.
Fidget spinner, sorry, yes, I understand. I was actually too busy fidgeting to notice what you were talking about.
Yeah, they keep our hands occupied while we're not supposed to be touching the controls.
Well, I had a little red one, but I put it down somewhere. So if you find a little red fidget spinner, let me know.
Roger.
I've actually got this stretchy worm that I play with, and I was telling some folks the other day that I really enjoy pulling on it, stretching on it. Unfortunately, it's quite elastic. And I was at the airport one day, and I was just kind of stretching it and playing with it. And wouldn't you know it, I flung it right out of my hand, and it rocketed across the airport and smacked into this lady. And I probably would have been able to like get away with it, pretend it wasn't mine, if I hadn't gone ee! When I fired it. So yeah, poor thing was under attack, and lucky for me, as red as I was, she just laughed. She thought it was hilarious. And again, it didn't hit her with any force, but I was reminded that maybe stretching it and pulling it in the airport is not ideal.
Easy, Loma.
Mm-hmm. Yes, luckily she was a very nice lady and forgave me right away and gave it back.
You can really see that shiny new cover on the winch.
What's that, Danny? Were you looking?
Oh, I was admiring the shiny new cover on the side of the winch drum.
Ooh, I see. Yes, someone's commenting that my fidget habits are dangerous. Apparently, yes. Especially if you can be taken out by a
careful with that thing, Monica.
Flying rubber band. Yeah. Maybe I'll actually just challenge myself to get really good at it, like take out flies or something, like a slingshot.
Maybe.
I was
do it at home.
I was pointing with my ready wing one night, and I was like bouncing in between my fingers, and I like shot it across the room, and I thought I lost it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna not do that anymore.
I'm actually currently not wearing any rings for that reason. I usually have rings to fidget with as well.
I kind of want one that has the gears in it that you can like spin.
Oh yeah, those are cool. I also really like decoder rings. Those are fun too. I mean, it's just a Caesar cipher, but still, it's fun.
We have one right here on the wall.
Ooh, a Caesar cipher?
We call it the treasure map.
Oh.
What's that?
It's interconnect diagram for dummies. All the widgets and computers and cables and controllers and instruments that are hooked up between the ROV and the console here, and the how they go through the racks, where the cameras come out,
Very cool.
where the temp probe plugs in, and all that kind of stuff.
Not that different from I think our systems team. They know where everything's plugged in, where it goes.
Speaking of temp probe, did that make it into the red book?
Yep.
Is that the only temperature probe we've got?
It's the only one on the vehicle.
But I mean, is there another replacement for it on ship or?
No comment.
Okay.
Apparently the person who commented that my fidget habits are dangerous is my colleague, and you know what? She has fair authority to say that.
The temp probe's kind of like Hercules. There's only one. Manufactured in, I don't know.
Temp probes,
probably
Hercules,
last
Highlanders?
century from Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute.
Oh, it was easily built in the 90s because it has a baud rate of 300.
That was fast back then.
Ooh, Danny, what's a baud rate?
It's the speed at which the data bits are traveling along the line.
So if you make code then that reads those data bits, are you a bodybuilder? Stun silence, love it.
That's pretty good. I think baud rates on some of our devices now are like 19,000 to give you some reference.
19,000 what per what?
Oh, that's slow.
Bytes per second.
Bytes per second. Well, that's
Our
a lot of
sonar's
bodybuilding.
running at 115,200. Most of our devices are.
Neat. I do always get a kick out of how some of our instruments, it's like, how often do you sample? Well, we can sample 60 times per millisecond. I'm like, that's a lot of data.
It is, and we have to have a place to put all that data.
Yep. Luckily, that's not a problem we have to worry about. We have other teams who worry about our data storage and backups and all that stuff.
I mean, again, I think that just circles back to the kind of narrative that we've been repeating a few times, and that there are many different ways to get into this line of work because there are so many lines of work in this. I know the ship actually has a very prestigious rack room with all the stuff because we're doing the telepresence, and I mean, there's how many monitors in this room? A few? More than 2. But yeah, all that stuff needs folks
20,
to
30?
Run it, maintain it, look after it, put it together.
Just 9 on this back row.
Yeah.
Or actually 11 if you count that table over there.
Why not?
So yeah.
Many, many.
A lot.
Yeah, we have 4 big commercial HD screens in front of us, and there's also 4 multi-viewers and a video rack over there that tile the images that you see on the lower 2 screens. Another multi-viewer is being used for our winch quad. One's being used to send quad images to the satellite, to the viewers at home. There's a 5th one somewhere. I think video uses that to check all the camera feeds.
It's not their 3rd live stream, which is now a quad.
Yeah. We have over a dozen monitors in front of us up here.
Yep.
Not counting the multi-viewers or the tilers.
And then we have control of all of the monitors at every station, which is kind of interesting.
What time do we think Herc will make to the surface?
38 minutes.
38 minutes. Okay. I'll send a memo.
You want to go eat breakfast, Danny?
You good up here for a few minutes?
Yeah, I reckon.
I'll eat quick.
All right.
Nice dinner plate jelly. We were a little worried about the sunrise this morning, but it sure looks like it's going to be a nice day after all.
It does look pretty sunny out there.
Yeah, I mean, sunrise was a little lackluster, but you know what? I'm a little lackluster when I get up in the morning. You know, it takes me a few minutes to get everything all sorted in my sunny disposition coming out.
Wow, that's so true. We can't expect that from the sun also.
Right? We should be more aware of the sun's needs. I wonder if I'll see that little seal. And I'm still holding out for my mola mola. Put it on order. 1 mola mola.
Noted.
No, yep, please, Amazon. No mola molas on back order. A few years ago, actually, the Thompson was out near here with a couple of folks on it from ONC, and they found a school of juvenile mola mola, knowing they're juveniles simply because of their size. But yeah, there's pictures on our website, and again, there's about, I don't know, a dozen of them in a little school, and I mean, that would be, that'd be amazing,
cool.
Right? You know, it doesn't get any neater than that, I don't think.
I've never heard of a school of mola mola.
I didn't know they did that either. I thought they were solitary, but the photo evidence is there. There's a whole bunch of them. I also think they're super cool in their larval stage. They're like little spiky balls. Many larval fish are actually pretty neat looking. Some folks are wondering about the cool things we've seen on this expedition so far, and my short list, I guess, is the sperm whales. We saw those a couple of days ago. There's a pod of them off the boat, and they were a little bit far away. It took us a while to identify them, but we think they were sperm whales because they were blowing from the tip of their head, and yeah, just the shape of the body and everything made us think that that's what they probably were. We also saw that the skates, those are pretty good. Yesterday's dive, we saw, I think, a Pycnopodia, which is a big sea spider. That was pretty cool, wandering around. Actually, we saw 2 of them. And as much as I wish there was at least one environment with no spiders, sea spiders are pretty cool. Do you have a hot list of things you've seen so far, Dan?
No. I haven't seen a lot of biology on this.
Yeah, we've seen a lot. How about Lynette? Any hot list for you?
Sorry, what's the question?
Not to worry. The question was cool things we've seen so far on the expedition. We're about halfway through, and what's your hot list so far?
Cool things we've seen so far.
And video, you're up next, so be ready.
I don't know. Does it count if I like the birds?
Absolutely, birds are amazing.
Of course that counts.
Albatross, for sure.
Yeah, albatross are pretty cool.
Yeah, that was amazing. We saw looks like 100 of them or something.
Yeah, there were so many.
I absolutely.
Is that your first time seeing them, Lynette?
I saw them last year during the ONC expedition, but
I absolutely love their takeoff and landing style. So for takeoff, they start running on the surface of the water, and it looks like they're never going to take off, and then they do. And then for landing, they kind of do the reverse. They stick their legs out and get those in the water first.
Okay, I just got confirmation. I can go have some breakfast.
Woohoo!
You should see him trying to land on the cliffs in Oregon. It's basically a crash landing. They're such a graceful flyer.
Well, I guess they had to pick, right?
Yeah.
You want to land gracefully or fly gracefully? Video, what's been a highlight for you?
Seeing the Godzilla event last night was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah,
I haven't seen massive events like that before, but I'd still really love to see Dumbo octopus.
Ooh, that would be nice, Dumbo octopus. Yeah, some of the octopus actually we've seen are, I would say, are a highlight for me as well. And for anybody who happens to just be joining us, we are currently ascending. We released a mooring, which we're going to go chase after and pull up once we get Herc safely on board, of course. Then we will redeploy a new mooring so that we can continue with the data. And that mooring will need to be plugged into the network so that it is a continuous data source. And that'll give us a kind of tentative timeline of ROVs diving and back in the water late afternoon, early evening, give or take. And again, a good spot to find out a heads up is our social media. So again, Nautilus Live and Ocean_networks. Great places to find out that stuff, as well as actually the website you are currently on asking me these questions. The social media posts do show up at the bottom of the website. So that's another great spot. You can check it out as well. Because of course, we make the best plans and then we work with what actually happens. So the plan is the evening, and what actually happens, well, we won't know until we get there. Lots of folks agreeing with me that the Mola Mola is on the short list of cool things. I would agree.
Monica, do you know if they broadcast spawn, or if they
I have no idea. What a great question.
That would be cool.
Let me have a look.
What's that? I might step out for a quick bite. You all right? I didn't touch anything while you were gone.
Yeah, great question, Ashley. So the Marine Sanctuary Foundation, they seem pretty reliable. They say that there's limited knowledge known of their production methods, fair. But they do reproduce through broadcast spawning, with females releasing their eggs in the water. A female can release as many as 300 million eggs in one spawning session. That's a lot of babies. But as I mentioned, they are tiny plankton for a good portion of their life, and they're like little spiky balls. They're worth a Google if you get a chance. And so they probably go for the millions and millions and millions of babies, so that the survival rate is, because the survival rate is quite low.
Well, I would think they aggregate.
Pardon me?
I would think they aggregate to spawn if they broadcast spawn. Wonder if there's some cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like,
yeah.
spawning events.
Oh, maybe that's why. Well, no, the ones I saw earlier were juveniles, or on the Thompson were juveniles just because of the size. But that's a good comment. That yeah, they must come together then to.
That would be so cool to see.
And a great question here about why is it relatively light, even though sunlight doesn't really penetrate to great depth, and that is because Herc is just covered in lights, chock-a-block with them. And if we were to completely turn them off, it would be totally dark. But as it is, we've just got kind of running lights on, as it were, if you drive a car, running lights. But for the most part, no, sunlight does not go deeper than about 200 meters. But again, that's relative to the perception as well. So what I mean is some of the creatures we see at depths deeper than 200 meters will use bioluminescence on their bellies. And what that does is it allows them to be a little bit lighter than where they live. And so that any predator, that's looking up at them will see a lightened area which matches that kind of upward looking ocean. So for us, it's dark. For things with really, really big eyes, it's not quite as dark. Actually, now you've got me thinking about how salmon spawn, what a mola spawn would look like. Or, like, I know there's that footage of the eagle rays where they get all together and they do their migration. I wonder if molas do that.
One can hope.
Yeah. And great question about, is there a limit on how big a mola could get? Or whales or other really big, slow-growing beasties? And I don't know. I would assume that there is some limit in the genetic design, especially things that are mammals. Not sure about fish. I know things like lobsters, they'll grow, they're considered biologically immortal. They can die, but they won't get sick. So they keep growing, but it slows down as they get older. I don't know about whales and mola.
Let's see. The maximum size of a mola recorded is 10 feet.
10 feet?
Mm-hmm.
That's still pretty big. Well, and I know that we happen to be sharing the planet with the blue whale, the biggest animal we know of so far, bigger than most dinosaurs, and it's absolutely amazing to me that in all of evolution, we decided to share the planet at the same time. That's pretty cool. And great question about, again, what we anticipate on our next dive. Our next dive, we anticipate will be plugging in the mooring, then possibly some more gas tights and photogrammetry. And the photogrammetry is when we get to have that real good look at things, because it is used to create an image, a 3D image of the vents. So again, that's the goal, 3D vent imaging using photogrammetry. But again, I use all my get out of jail free words like goal, should, maybe, most likely, because again, things could change.
Lynette, what's our currents looking like on the surface?
Yeah, current's coming this way.
Okay.
And it's looking pretty strong, 2.3 knots. So I'm not sure when we want to start tracking forward, if we want to start actually tracking this way a little bit.
Okay.
Try to compensate for that.
Yeah. I'm just getting in the box a little bit closer right now. A little early, but should be fine.
Danny, when you say the box, what's the box?
Just getting behind the ship with Hercules, so we're streaming behind it and not off to the side.
I see. Kind of like a loading zone?
Just in line with the ship, so when we start pulling ahead, Hercules will tow behind more straight.
Cool. And that's to protect the cable and things like that, so there's not as much torsion and pull?
You do all that, and when we load Atalanta on board, we have Hercules pulling aft, so Atalanta pulls on board straight, and less chance to get tied up in the propellers or get snagged on anything on the ship.
Cool.
I should say propeller on the ship.
Yeah, singular. Neat. Well, and again, mentioning to our lovely viewers, we appreciate your questions and all that kind of stuff, but while the deck ops are happening, you can also watch that. In fact, I think you can see two of our guys on deck right now waiting for Atalanta and Herc to surface.
Deck control. Just a heads up, we're at about 650 meters, expecting to be at the surface in 20 to 25 minutes.
Question for the front row. How late in a dive can you fire a Niskin? So what I mean is we're on our way to the surface. Is there a minimum depth where you could fire a Niskin?
No, we couldn't fire a Niskin any time. We just don't want to fire one on the way down.
Fair. Interesting. All right.
Only on the way up.
I like this.
Why not on the way down?
Because when you have a container of compressed liquid and a bottle that's not rated for depth, if you fire it at low pressure and go to high pressure, bad things happen.
Oh. Cool.
They implode.
That is true.
Exciting.
No.
Well, considering that they're strapped all along the side of Hercules, that is probably not a great place to have an implosion.
No. I've actually had to abort a dive because of a pre-fired Niskin on launch.
Wow.
Hmm. Well, I won't ask you for such a thing, but I'll check with science, and perhaps we can get a Niskin fired on our way up next time.
Do they implode violently?
Yes. So
they don't
we had
just, like,
one
kind of leak and like equalize.
On the other vehicle we had it triggered on launch and we didn't know it because we didn't have a camera on them. We just had the pulse, and about halfway down, about 1,000+ meters, we started seeing all this plastic coming out of the sample basket. And that one Niskin that imploded took out the rest of the 4.
Wow. Wow. That's wild.
I know on the Ocean Networks Canada page, we have a hydrophone recording of a float that imploded, and it's deafening. It actually deafened the hydrophone in its first echo, and then it echoes all the way down a canyon.
Oh.
I'm just giving it a 13% forward and everything up. It seems like it's staying now.
Some folks are wondering if we'll see the lanternfish on the way up.
Yeah.
Most likely we'll see a few, though we are going at a significantly faster pace. So they probably won't have as much time to kind of be in our wash.
So I moved Hercules into the position behind the ship. We're gonna start streaming here in a minute.
Yeah, we're not streaming yet. So we do have a pretty strong current, about 2 knots, but...
Hold on, he can't hear you.
Oh. Okay, we do have a pretty strong current, about 2 knots, but it looks like we're actually changing heading to be a little more into it.
Oh yeah, maybe we don't even need to stream.
Yeah, with our current heading, it might push Herc a little to port side.
That's a good side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Oreo
as long
was.
as it's not too much.
Said he was really struggling there when we were moving last night in the current.
Danny, you've got a thanks for the explanation and noting that, yeah, Niskin imploding is actually a huge amount of energy, and absolutely it is.
I'm just surprised that the seal is so strong that it just doesn't kind of...
Well, the seal is designed to be pressed in.
Okay.
So it must reinforce the
that
vacuum.
Makes sense.
So it doesn't open up, it presses together, and the bottle is a PVC, a piece of PVC. It does not handle pressure well.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So as they're coming up and we have a sample in there, it'll bleed off extra pressure.
Sure. Okay.
That's why they're spring-loaded caps. But going down,
the other way around, not so much.
Bad things happen.
And Ashley, there's a factoid here. I didn't know this. Maybe you did. So did you know that mola mola are closely related to pufferfish? I absolutely did not, but that is fantastic.
What? Where are you getting that factoid?
From the chat. I trust them implicitly.
I believe it.
For my loyal fans.
As you have said, though, Danny, trust and verify. So I'm going to trust it for now, and verify it when I'm off shift. Oh, squid.
In vino veritas.
Pardon?
In vino veritas.
Ah, yes, trust but verify.
No, it's in wine we trust.
In what?
In vino veritas.
In wine we trust.
Is in wine we trust.
Ah. I'm just learning all sorts of stuff today. I got some Portuguese, I got some Latin.
Actually Italian.
I got some Portuguese, some Italian. It's like Latin, but not quite. There's a question here about whether or not it's possible for an animal to deafen a diver. And I don't know if that's the case, but I do know that water amplifies the sound, so divers often hear things like whales singing, or one that always gets kind of is interesting to me is that some of our hydrophones that are at 200 meters depth or more, they'll pick up sea lions barking. So there's pretty loud sounds that they pick up.
Sound travels very long distances in the ocean.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons, or one of the theories behind whale song overall, is that they can sing these songs and it can travel these vast distances and invite in potential friends, neighbors, and mates.
We know Hercules makes a lot of noise.
It's not that loud.
Well, I mean, if you think about the different spectrums and different levels of noise that Hercules makes, with all the different sonars and high-pitched motor line.
No louder than a lawnmower.
Now, I don't think a lawnmower would do very well down on the bottom, to be honest.
About the same horsepower, though.
Interesting.
Do we want to try not streaming forward in this current?
Sure.
All right.
What's your Doppler say? Same?
What's my Doppler say? Let's take a look.
But the ship's working pretty hard, are they?
Yeah. I mean, you can feel it, hear it. They're working pretty hard to hold position.
Yeah, I'm happy to hold position.
Okay.
And Dan, the female monomolas release eggs. The eggs are about 1.3 millimeters in size, and they hatch together. Newly hatched larvae are only 2.5 millimeters long and resemble miniature pufferfish. They're a close relative.
Wow, I learn something new every day in here.
Yeah, this is showing about the same direction, but a lot less magnitude. So DP
yeah,
is
I don't know
showing
if they're
1.8 knots. This
DP's working hard because the wind.
Yeah, the wind's pretty.
The captain will remind you that current reading is complete. You know what? Because there is not a current sensor on the vessel.
Right. Did you want to stream?
I don't know. I'm just sitting there watching the.
What the vehicles are doing?
Let me pull up the wire cam on a bigger. Usually if there's a current, you can see it there on the wire.
What do you look for, Dan?
Wire moving through the water.
Oh.
Or the bubbles.
Bubbles.
Let's see how fast that. Hey, look for whatever telltale sign you can. Bubbles moving across the water, but if there's a 2-knot current, that wire is. It's totally obvious by looking at the wire, and I don't see it.
Yeah, the ADCP is saying 0.3 knots, more or less south. A little southeast.
Yeah, I'm good. We should probably go by the book on it. Just do the 0.3.
Start streaming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I trust the ADCP, kind of, sort of.
Okay, and you're feeling pretty good in the box here? You're not like fighting to stay behind the ship?
No, it's, okay. I'm not giving it any rattle, it's just hanging out.
All right, awesome. Bridge nav. Good morning, are you happy with this heading for recovery? Okay, excellent. Can we start streaming forward 0.3 knots, please? Thanks. And can you secure tanks, enable air to tuggers, and let me know when the captain's on the bridge? Thank you.
Seeing as we're about to recover, I will just say thanks everybody for listening in. We are hoping to be back this evening. And as always, please do check out our social media channels, Ocean Networks, and nautiluslive.org. I'm going to go pretty quiet because they are going to recover Herc, but again, thanks for your time this morning, and we look forward to hearing from you later. Have a good day, everyone.
Well, ready? I have no HD camera now, Dan.
Roger. What do you need an HD camera for?
I guess I don't need a pilot cam. Okay.
You have cinema cam over there. Shouldn't be looking at that now anyways.
I'm just looking at all my cameras, that's all.
All right, we got a bit of forward way starting to drag.
Roger. Current's pushing us to the south a little bit. It's the same way the mooring went headed for Oregon.
Yeah, that's where we'll find it.
Probably.
Yeah, all good.
Dan, can we bring up launch recover salvo, or you?
I'm happy with this for now. Kind of like watching the big screens.
Might have to lateral a bit to get some in the bank for the surface.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem that bad on the EK, apparently. It's 0.3 knots from about the same vector, so that should be
yeah,
fine.
I was in the bank, and then I...
Yeah, it should be
started worrying about cameras.
Well, you started changing the pilot's view.
Be fun chasing down that mooring. Those are fun. You know, K2 solution is doing what it's supposed to do right now, which is great. Because sometimes in the water column, it just kind of runs away. It also goes to Oregon. It's optimized for the bottom, and when it doesn't have TVL for a while, it kind of forgets how to operate. So I'm impressed with whatever it's doing, switching over completely to USBL.
Are you talking about Herc's position now?
Yeah, I have a, go ahead, bridge. Okay, roger that, thank you. I have an extra solution of it in HiPAC, so I can monitor it for when we're doing mapping and stuff, and actually just to see the quality in general.
Monitor, what do you monitor?
K2's nav solution that integrates DVL and USBL.
Oh, yeah.
Which we could move over to it kind of wholesale, except for the fact that it's kind of run in a way that it's not like super, like that thing could crash or what, you know, it's not as robust as the current.
Kind of like most university code.
Yeah, at least for that, because it's just for the mapping.
Yeah.
So we were working on trying to mimic that with Quincy as best we could, and we got almost there. So my plan is to, during the course of the season, we'll be running this up here, and then I'll be downstairs poking at Quincy to try to get that dialed in.
We're gonna run Quincy on the next expedition?
Not up here. We still have some lack of functionality that we need to, we're working on talking with the developers about.
Oh, yeah.
And if we get there, then probably switch over, but I anticipate more something like next season.
Mm-hmm.
Switching to manual.
Looks great there.
Yeah,
Danny.
I'm on manual. What's that?
I was saying it looks great lined up. We got everything is seemingly good.
Launch recovery salvo.
Roger, launch recovery salvo.
Excellent. That's what I'm used to looking at.
Are we, let's see, what else? Are we all buttoned up? We got everything closed that needs to be.
Yeah, looks like it.
Pretty good. We'll tilt the camera when we get there. At 50. Looking good for now. I've never seen with that mini Zeus on Atalanta, can it sit proud in the...
It cannot hit the deck.
Yeah, that's good. I guess I haven't seen it.
It comes really close though.
Yeah.
If there was something on the deck.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. be good. Like a shackle or so I don't know, pole or something.
Yeah.
Ground cable.
Did you want to stow Atalanta's camera?
After I let go of this winch.
I can do it right here.
I'll stop 50.
Copy, I'll stop.
Deck control.
Go ahead, for deck.
Control is all stop at 50 meters.
I'm gonna
stop at 50 meters. Break, bridge, back deck. Permission to go ahead and recover ROVs.
You might have to open up the iris there a little until I turn the lights off.
Proceed, Mike.
Oops, I didn't
Thank you,
turn
Bridge.
that off. I turned the wrong thing off, sorry. What am I doing? That was my bad.
Okay, he's signaled that he's winching up, and the winch is now moving.
Turn off Herc's lights as well. Get a better view in the ambient daylight. Let's see if I can distract Danny some more.
You guys okay to stop mezzos?
Yeah, if Danny is.
Yep,
Good.
go ahead.
And the tri-tech is one thing you mentioned.
Yeah, thank you. That's this little guy right here. Look at all the black on that camera lens. I can see it from here. Can see. I'm just going to switch over real quick, Danny. See it, ready?
In the 180?
Yep. Yeah, okay,
that's good.
Lens is back.
That's funny.
Oh,
Long one.
Relax, it's not, ROV's not going anywhere.
Nothing lined up still. We've got...
Except for your above Atalanta.
Yep.
Not where you want to be.
I'll let Atalanta catch up.
It's all about the numbers now.
Yep.
Numbers and instruments. Spoiled on this boat with all the deck cameras. We usually have one raggedy camera like on pelagic, or you'd be lucky to have 2 deck cameras. Same with ropeless. It's good to be par so you can see him.
Control, back deck. I have eyes on Herc coming up to starboard of the A-frame.
Copy that, thank you.
I'm not seeing it yet.
You can cheat now and lateral right, you might still get a goal.
What's he talking about, starboard of the A-frame?
Yeah,
Looks like I'm right in the middle.
It's a total goal.
If I can see it in the port cam, then it's not starboard of the A-frame.
That was some awesome lateraling right there.